How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So today we're going to look at 5 comics that are dropping quite a bit, over 50% from their previous highs. And so let's just get right into it and see what we got here. Also stay to the end because I'm going to do an update on one of the ones I did previously last month, and we'll see how that one's doing. All right, first up we got Tales of Suspense 50. Now this is the first appearance of the Mandarin. Now, obviously, this was in Shang-Chi, and this movie has come and gone, so that's why this one's dropping. If you look here at an 8.0, in July, it sold for $3,050. That was its peak. Now it currently sells for $1,641. That's down 46%. A 7.0 in September sold for a little over $1,000 and now selling for $898. That is down 12%. A 5.0 sold in May for $1,300 and now sells for $630. That's down 52%. Now it's kind of interesting that a 7.0 sold for $1,000 while a 5.0 ended up selling for $1,300. So there's always some good deals to get in there, and some people overpay, like the person that did in May. So let's move on to number 2. We got SheHulk number 1. And a 9.8 peaked in July for $2,025. Now it's selling for $96. It's down 53%. A 9.6 in April peaked at $850. Now it's currently selling for $400, down 53%. A 9.4 peaked in September, so not too long ago, for $500, but is now currently selling for $350, down 30%. And you can look at that graph up there, and as you can see how it just went up and it's going down. Now I think that this one is still a pretty good get because the TV show hasn't come out yet, and it really depends on how the TV show does, but I think this will see a rebound. Will it go back up to its peak? I don't know, that's pretty hard. Could, maybe not, who knows, but it really depends on how well the show does with audiences. But I think there will be a rebound here. So again, these are just going down. Doesn't mean that you should sell them or buy them or whatever, but you have to kind of look at the tea leaves. And for this one, I would say that this one is it will probably drop a little lower, but it will be a good grab when the TV show finally comes out, especially when they drop that first trailer. So my suggestion, let this drop a little more, and then probably pick it up. All right, next we got Tales to Astonish 90. This is the first appearance of Abomination. Obviously, this peaked because Abomination was in Shang-Chi, and Abomination appeared in the Hulk movie a long time ago. A 9.0 peaked in July for $1,750, currently selling for $730. That's down 58%. An 8.0 peaked in July at $900, now selling for $440. That's down 51%. And a 5.5 sold in July for $495, now at $200. That's down 60%. Yeah, I mean, unless Abomination shows up in something else down the line, I think there's not much hope for it. I think it's dropped quite a bit. I don't think it'll go back to what it was a couple years ago, but I think it's definitely still has more room to drop. All right, next we got Star Wars Jedi versus the Sith, number 1. This one kind of peaked out of the blue, just off kind of like some rumors and some speculations. And yeah, so a 9.8 peaked in March for $1,600, now sells for $599, down 63%. A 9.6 peaked in May for $565, now sells for $201, that's down 64%. And a 9.4 peaked in May for $355, and now sells for $140, 61%. Yeah, I have a bunch of these, and they've just been sitting around. I don't know what to say about this one. If there's a chance of it going up, kind of all depends on what happens. All right, last one we have is Spiderman Unlimited number 1. This first appearance Shriek. And the reason why this was going so high in the beginning was because she was in the Venom 2 movie. Spoiler alert, she died. So that's kind of the end of her. and the end of this comic, so to speak. All right, so you can look in the graph up there how it's just been trending down. A 9.8 peaked in May for $450, now currently sells for $139. That's down 69%. 9.6 peaked in October, so last month, for $178. Down to $50 now currently, and that's down 72%. And then a 9.4 peaked in June for $150, now selling for 69%. That's down 54%. So yeah, is there much hope for this book in the future? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, the 9.8's all the way down to 139. I could see this comic in a 9.8 selling for like, leveling out, or probably around $100 book, maybe a $90 to $110, somewhere around there. That's where I think it's going to level out to. We'll go back up. I don't know. The Carnage is done. Shriek is done. So not until there's something happen with Carnage in the future, I don't think this book is really going to go anywhere. So that brings me to the last one. And this will be an update. So if you watch this series that I do, I like to do updates to see where kind of certain ones are at that I did before. And so, but before I show you the update, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Helps out this channel. I have a goal to reach in 3 months of 10,000 subs. I don't think I'll make it, but we'll see. All right, update on Spider-Man 361. The first appearance of Carnage. Yeah, so I thought that this one was just probably going to drop another 10% from the previous month. It's dropped a little more than that. Let's look at it. So in the month of October, a 9.8 averaged at 765. It currently in November, I know we're only, like a little over a week in, but there's a lot of sales of this book, so yeah, it's pretty easy to average. So in November, it's currently averaging at 642. That is down 16%. A 9.6 in October averaged for 307. And now it averages for 310. So that's up 1%. A slight bump right there at a 9.6. A 9.4 in October averaged for 236. Now currently averages 200. That's down 15%. So still dropping. I mean, you're looking at that 9.6. It's slightly going up. I know I said like another 10% drop, but I mean, it's been about 15%. One of them actually went up. Carnage is such a good, iconic character. This will be a good get regardless. Just because it's dropping, some people say, hey, this is the perfect time to buy, right? Not the time to sell and panic and get rid of it. There's that to that. I still think this is a good buy because it's Carnage. Regardless, I can't see it dropping much more. Like, look at, you're getting a 9.8. It's almost dropped. If you look at the graph there, it's almost dropped to where it was before the big boom. Yeah, it's almost back to where it was a few years ago. So realistically, it can't go much lower. Like, you can't see this 9.8 currently selling for 642 dropping down to 300 for a 9.8. That's not happening. So could it drop a little more? Probably. I think also the reason why it's dropping is this happens to be a slow time. So during the holiday season, November through December, a lot of people spend their money on other things, so comics are not a huge thing. So I could see it dropping a little bit because of that, but I think this will turn around. So in my opinion, I think this is probably a pretty good time to buy the book. All right. Hope you like this stuff. Have a great rest of the weekend.